And good evening, everybody. It is Bill and Paul. Guess what? We're live on
We're
soundsugarradio.com.
back.
Not only are we live on soundsugarradio.com, if you're tuned in there, you can jump over to the Music Society of Strathcona County YouTube page because we're live streaming on there right now, so you can actually see us while we're busy on this show here today. Well, it's been a little while, but we're back, Paul.
We are back. It's been long. I've missed you, my friend.
It's been a while for sure since we have been on and doing this show on Sound Sugar Radio.
And that's only by virtue of the fact that, quite frankly, I mean, you have, several other personal and professional initiatives. I've got several other personal and professional initiatives. So life just kind of got in the way a little bit.
It did. So here it is, a brand new year, 2024. And you have any, do you do resolutions or anything like that, Paul?
Well, let me start this conversation by saying that I do, as a matter of fact, think that New Year's it's a really important observance for just that reason, Bill. I do think that it gives everybody a chance for a reset.
Yeah.
So the previous year is in the past. It's gone. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it. And the year ahead is a chance to just look at the year prior and think of things that you maybe could have done better, or maybe could have done a little bit more efficiently for growth or happiness or mental health or what have you. So I love New Year's, quite frankly, almost as much as Christmas. I do New Year's resolutions. Don't remember the last time I've actually held on to a New Year's resolution. But yeah, I do think it's really important. And I gotta tell you, not like I was, hurting for this in 2023, but one of my New Year's resolutions is to see more live music.
Yeah. Well, there's
I'm really excited about that. But mind you, that's been my New Year's resolution the last 5 New Years.
well, and it also, I guess, there's going to be a lot of shows happening in 2024, but I guess it also depends upon ticket prices as well, because they seem to be just going up every year. So it gets a little tougher on the budget.
It does, but it is what it is. We are now in that world. We are now in that realm of $100+ ticket prices. Like I said, I did see a few shows in 2023. It was few and far between. Now, local acts are one thing, by the way. Please support local. Please support local. But for the international acts coming in, or the national acts coming in, it's a far cry to see a ticket, less than $100. So, that being said, I do think that, and maybe you can speak to this more, Bill. The production value I find on mostly on live shows, mostly on touring shows, they've really upped their game.
Well, I think they have to. First of all, with the amount of money that they're charging for the ticket. Second of all, they are upping their game, I think, in the production that a lot of these bands are doing for their live shows, which also means expensive equipment, which also means more crew, to run that equipment, which again also means experienced crew that knows how to run all of that equipment. Right. And so those costs all go up, and there's traveling costs and trucking costs, and all we have to do is look at Miss Taylor Swift, of course, right? So that $1 billion entity or whatever, that sold out outdoor concerts tour that she's doing.
Bill, I'm gonna have to say she's not the rule, though. I think she's the exception to the rule. I don't think we should look to Miss Swift for concerts in the future. I mean, she's an anomaly. She is not a concert right now. She's a phenomenon. And I think, I saw Disturbed last year. I saw Kiss last year. I saw what else did I see last year?
What's that other band that you like?
Oh my, I can't believe I just forgot.
I was going to say
Holy mackerel.
you weren't saying anything about them.
They're gonna revoke my membership card after that. I saw Depeche Mode last year,
Yeah.
and I pay all three. I paid north of $100 a ticket. But again, the concerts were absolutely unreal. They were unreal. So I was very happy um, to to spend that money, particularly in the example of Kiss, because no, though I'm not a major fan.
Right.
It's a kids and me thing is
Hmm.
what it is for the Kiss show, and then Depeche Mode is, well, I'm the ultimate fan, right? So I was very happy to spend that money, and I do it again, Bill. I'd do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure that you would. And when when you're talking about a favorite act, your favorite band, of course, if they come back again on another tour, of course you're going to jump and grab tickets to go see them, right? So,
And it's funny too because I almost and I don't know if anybody's done this, Bill. I don't know if you, I'm quite confident in saying I don't think you've done this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if anybody's but done this. Have you ever bought the VIP tickets, the meet and greet tickets? And I've never. And I was within inches of actually hitting, that submit button for you know, $700 meet and greet tickets for Depeche Mode because I had come into some disposable income. Because again, the band, went through a personal tragedy last year, and as a major fan, I didn't know if I would ever. I didn't know if this tour was going to be their last, so I wanted to
right.
meet them. I never
Right.
did spend $750 for one meet and greet ticket, but I was
Hmm.
darn close, I tell you, and I would have done it.
Yeah. No, I haven't done a meet and greet ticket. There was a show that we did. And I'm trying to think, this was years back. It might have been a Janet Jackson show, actually.
Mhm.
And I think we bought a version of VIP, but it wasn't meet and greet. It was um, specific, obviously specific seats, and you got your grab bag or whatever full of Janet merchandise and all that kind of stuff for the extra cost
Mhm.
and those kind of things. But I think there was one more level above it where you could spend even more money and do the meet and greet. So no, I have not done that. And for sure, there's times that you think about doing it, but again, it's obviously a huge cost. And like you said, though, for somebody like Depeche Mode, because you weren't sure if they were going to continue to tour after this tour is done, maybe at that point it's worth it to you.
Mhm.
But if they're still going to be on the road for another couple of years, then maybe there's still that opportunity, right?
Well, I guess, Bill, you and I are relatively of the same age, and here's the thing: all of our musical gods and icons they're dying.
Hmm.
Um, they're retiring. They're selling off all of their music. Um, I want to see these people before they're gone,
Yeah.
and I will pay that money. So I guess they've got me, Bill. They've the great corporate machine has got me, in that respect.
Yeah, definitely. And you're seeing bands, of course, you said you saw Kiss last year. Well, that was part of their farewell tour, which, was for everything that's been said, is their farewell tour, even though we all know that Kiss did some farewell tours in the past, but came back. But I think due to age this time, you got Gene Simmons is what, 71 years old or something in that range. And, Paul Stanley's somewhere in his mid to late 60s or close to 70. So obviously they have, just come to a point where they've had enough. Now they have come up with the big surprise that they did at the very last show in New York, Madison Square Gardens, where everybody thought the show was over and they had left the stage. And then all of a sudden the big video came on and said something along, "We're not done yet," or whatever it was saying. So then people were, "What? What do you mean?" So now they have come out, of course, with the AI version of Kiss. So I don't know what they're going to do with that in 2024, if there's going to be uh, new music through this AI version of the band, or if they are going to do AI concerts of the band. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
But even so, even if they do, you know, quote unquote tour virtually, you wouldn't spend $150 to see a video screen, would you?
I don't think so.
No, neither would I.
No, I think that's a lot of money to see something that has been digitally designed, even as real as it may look, right?
Hmm.
Um, it's just not the same thing as seeing the actual person up there
Hmm.
playing. Look at the Rolling Stones. They announced a 2024 tour. What's Mick? 80 years old now, in that range, close to 80.
Yep.
What's Keith Richards? He's got to be close to 80 as well.
And
Uh,
oddly enough, I think Keith Richards is the young one, I think.
and so they're going to do it, and I'm interested to see how that will work. I'm sure there's a lot of rest days in between between shows. It won't be like the old days when they were doing show night after night.
Well, 100%, 100% true. Things like that have changed. I think I got to spend this money while while my idols and my, my musical gods are still touring. Like I'm not interested in this AI thing. I'm not interested. I want to see the people that made the music in the flesh, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no, I think that's what everybody's paying for, right? So, I think that's kind of what we'll do. It'll be interesting though to see how it goes over the next couple of years in the whole music business with AI, and there's a lot of it in the business now, so it'll be interesting to see where that all goes for bands touring, etc., and how they use it. I'm sure bands will make use of it somehow in their shows as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. So, as I said, we're back here. This is Bill and Paul Show, soundsugarradio.com, or you can tune in and see us live on the Music Society of Strathcona County YouTube page as well. We're live there right now. Uh,
Bill, I wonder if I might interrupt. What is the Music Society of Strathcona County?
Music Society of Strathcona County is a nonprofit that was formed in April of 2018 with a mandate to put on an outdoor music festival in Sherwood Park called the Ravenwood Music Festival, coming up this year, July 12th and 13th.
Hmm.
And it also runs, the Music Society also runs soundsugarradio.com, and it also runs the Ravenwood Music Club, which, by the way, Paul, coming up this Friday evening, January 19th at the Strathcona County Museum and Archives, is Dana Wiley, is part of the Ravenwood Music Club, our first show of 2024, show number 4 of the series. The first 3 shows sold out, and we've got less than 12 tickets now available for this upcoming Friday evening. Doors open at 6:30. So if you want to buy tickets for that, you go to ravenwoodexperience.com, go to tickets, and you can buy tickets. They're $20 online, or you can buy them at the door for $25. So if you want to save yourself $5, do that before Friday, and you get to see a wonderful singer-songwriter, local singer-songwriter, Miss Dana Wiley, perform for us.
And it's very interesting because, the Music Society of Strathcona County is spearheaded by you, your lovely wife, Chai. This is your baby. And I've been ever so blessed to be brought aboard. Long story short, it's just a bunch of people who absolutely, live and breathe music and want to bring, music to the masses, quite frankly.
Yeah, and it was an opportunity because there were no outdoor music festivals of this type in Sherwood Park. So finally to have the ability to put on something like this, we have great festivals all around us. So we've got the Edmonton Folk Festival, of course. We've got Beaumont Blues Festival, another great festival in the area, and Pigeon Lake, and there's all these festivals around the area, but we never had an outdoor festival like this in Sherwood Park. So that was the reason why it was formed, so we could have our own outdoor music festival. And again, for that, we will be making an announcement soon for the supporting acts. But if you haven't heard, one of Paul's other favorite bands is headlining on Friday night, July 12th, the Royal Foundry.
Oh,
And,
I cannot wait to see them again.
and co-headlining that evening will be Carter and the Capitals, another fantastic band. And then there'll be one more band opening up that evening as well, which we'll be announcing shortly. And then headlining on Saturday night, we're really excited, is the Stephen Page Trio. So, of course, Stephen Page, ex-Bare Naked Ladies, and he puts on a fantastic show as well. And just for those out there, I had a meeting with his one of his road managers this week, just or toward the end of last week actually. And one thing that I heard about Steven, for you people that are Bare Naked Ladies fans, he play over 50% of his set are Bare Naked Ladies songs.
Oh boy, so it's going to be a regular sing along for a couple of hours that June night, isn't it?
So he plays a lot of his own originals. They have a blast on stage. It's him and two other gentlemen, and uh, they don't actually have a bass guitar on stage. They have a cello on stage. So it's Steven and his guitar player, and now his name has just slipped my mind. So I'll look that up as we're chatting. But cello on stage, and it sounds really good. So they have a lot of fun on stage. One of the things his road manager was telling me, or she was telling me, was that I think it was last year during an outdoor show, they actually, in the middle of their set, wrote a new song on stage with the audience in front of them, and the audience loved it.
What? Wait, wait,
They're
wait,
actually,
wait, wait. They
so
just
they're actually going to record it. They were jamming, and they loved it, and it came out. The audience loved it, so they're going to actually record that song at some point this year.
they just jammed an original track on stage as they were performing.
Yep, and it came out to be a brand new song that they're going to record this year, and so they have a lot of fun with that. Stephen Page has a lot of fun with the audience as well, and so it's going to be that'll be a fun headliner on Saturday night.
That's Gord Downey the Whale 2.0, I guess, eh?
I guess it is. And then jumping back, like I said, to Friday evening when you've got the Royal Foundry, and now so we had the Royal Foundry play the Ravenwood Music Festival in 2019. We're so excited, as you said, Paul, having them back this year, simply because they have just jumped leaps and bounds. They've got new music out now, but I know even on Spotify, their listenership has gone to like 35,000 plus listeners a month now. I think their latest single had over 1 million streams. Like they've just flown way up there.
And I happen to know them not a lot. I know them a little bit, and that is by virtue of the fact that they are continual hard workers. They're always on tour. They're always hitting gigs. They are the proverbial, success story due to just plain getting your hands dirty, quite frankly.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. Jared and his dad has been,
Man.
and they've been involved in our community out here where I live for years and years and years and years.
Yep.
And that's how Jared kind of got his start into music, because his dad is a musician, and
Mhm.
yeah, they've
Beth Ann, his wife, Jared's
and
wife, is part of Royal Foundry.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, two really good nights of music. The Friday night, not and both days are going to be upbeat evenings of music, but the Friday night is going to be a real night of dance music. So if you like to dance, and like I said, I'm not announcing the opening band for the supporting act that'll be opening for both Carter and the Capitals and the Royal Foundry quite yet, because we're going to hopefully do that. I'm hoping sometime next week. I'm just finalizing one more act for the Saturday, and then we'll announce all of those. But it's going to be a night where you're going to want to be up in the dance area in front of the stage, because it's going to be nonstop fun music.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you're listening to us from near, if you're listening to us from far, doesn't matter. Get involved in your, local music scene. It's paramount. Quite. I don't know about you, Bill. It's paramount to my mental health.
Yeah, no, it's fun for sure. And we've already touched on the fact that we have the Ravenwood Music Club this coming Friday night, and again, that's a real intimate venue. So it's a singer-songwriter series, and it's a nice sounding venue, and you just get to sit back, relax, maybe have a glass of wine, have some beer from a local brewery by the name of Manual Labor, based out in Sherwood Park, and then also have a Ravenade with using some of the great gin from Hawk Prohibition, another local distillery out in the Sherwood Park, Alberta area. So, and Paul, I know you like your Ravenades, so you can come out and have a Ravenade or a glass of wine or a beer and just sit back and listen to a singer-songwriter.
I do like me my Ravenade. I will be. It will be a dry music club this Friday because I will be with my kids. But I do like me my Ravenade. That's for sure. Have one for me, buddy.
There you go. There you go. So that again all comes up on Friday night. So some of the other things that Paul and I are going to kind of work on as this show moves forth in 2024 is really promoting and talking about events happening throughout the area, not just in Sherwood Park, but Edmonton and area as well. Community events, theater events, music events, local music events. So again, if you're a local band that's got a show coming up in a month and you want us to talk about it, we'll do that. And I'm talking to a few people too to get some. We'll get some interviews in the next few weeks as well with maybe some of the people involved in these events, so they can talk about them as well. And like I said, local theater as well. We're gonna reach out and promote some of the local theater shows that are happening. And so there's going to be lots to talk about because there's always so much going on around Edmonton and area and Sherwood Park and areas, St. Albert and area. Like there's always so much going on.
Aside from the fact, Bill, that and I'll jump on the social media bandwagon here, and I'll say that today, Monday, was supposed to be the most depressing day of the year. Well, that there's no excuse, because there is music galore happening in and around where you are. Like I said, whether you are near or far. I am actually hanging out this coming weekend, so I'll be at the Music Fest on Friday night with you, Bill, and all of our wonderful friends from the Music Society of Strathcona County. Saturday, I'm going to be at Winterruption.
Winterruption. There you go.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I get to Peter Dreams is going to be there from July Talk, among many, 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 many other acts. So that's going to be fantastic.
And isn't also coming up soon is the big Edmonton Deep Freeze event is coming up as well.
The Byzantine is coming up. That's exactly right. Don't quote me on the exact title, but it is, I think, Edmonton Deep Freeze, a Byzantine festival, I believe it is.
That's what it's called. So I'm just looking it up right now. So it is called Deep Freeze, a Byzantine winter festival.
Yeah.
And that gets underway January 20th. So that's this weekend as well.
Yeah.
So
along with what Bill said in regards to Bill's and my plans for the Bill and Paul show, not only are we going to try and promote and talk about and get really excited and get you really excited about local shows and local acts and local promotions and what have you. I'm not going to speak for you, Bill, but I'm going to try and get out physically to as many as I possibly can.
Yeah.
I am a single dad of 3 kids, so sometimes with hockey and volleyball and trumpet lessons and my own vocal lessons, that gets a little dicey. But and then all of my other professional initiatives. But I mean, you guys, I vow, if you want to go to a gig, my gosh, find me on social media. Say, hey, Paul, let's go. Are you free? And I'm down. If I'm free, I am down.
You're actually free. You don't charge?
I am. I am free. I am free. Hey, we'll go Dutch, Bill. We'll go Dutch.
You're free, but not easy.
I'm free. I'm free, but I am not easy. Well, some might disagree with that too.
But yeah, yeah, we're gonna cover events. So again, if you have something coming up or an event, whether it's a music event or a theatrical event or whatever the case might be, based you have an art show coming up, maybe you're an artist or a local artist, and you want to talk about that, maybe you've got a fundraising event coming up for a cause that you're really wanting to help out, we'll talk about that. So those are all types of things we're going to try and cover on this show. So like I said, we won't be just talking about events that are just in Strathcona County and Sherwood Park area. We're going to try and cover events that are happening all over the place. And in a little bit here, I'll get to some events that are coming up. I do have some up on my computer screen, so we'll get to those shortly and kind of go over. There's lots of stuff going to be happening around the community in the next few weeks for sure.
Absolutely. Make sure that you just also visit your local businesses as well. I.e., Manual Labor Distillery. God love you guys. Thank you guys for supporting us. We always try and find a way to support you guys as much as we can. Strathcona County Music Society and everybody else that supports us. We want to thank you guys very much. We will send out a shout out to all of you that are in the arts and in the business community as well. So that's our plan in a nutshell. Hey.
That's right. Yeah. And as you just said, yeah, if you're a new business or a small business and just starting out and you want to, you want to talk about your business, let's talk about it. And that's one of the other things we're going to be doing on Sound Sugar Radio this year as well. And that we have put out is we are going to offer, 30-second to 1 minute, free ads on our station. We can write, produce, voice them. We have Paul available for voicing them as well. And I already have one gentleman that's reached out. I have to talk to him this week about putting an ad on our station to promote his business. And we are also a member of the Sherwood Park Chamber of Commerce. And I guess one thing I completely forgot to mention, which is on our website, there was a Sherwood Park Community Votes competition that happened. Started last year with all the nominations and then voting, etc. And SoundSugarRadio.com won the Platinum Award for best online radio station. So that's always exciting. And we've got lots going on. So if you want an ad done, contact us. We can have a chat with you and we'll figure out what you want to promote and what you want to talk about, and we can throw something together.
Yeah, this is so important, you guys. Like Bill and I are going to be talking about this online, but for me, I don't want to just talk about it and not experience it. So again, it's important for me to actually try and get out there and see your events and visit your businesses as much as possible. Like I'd love for you guys to be involved with the Bill and Paul show and SoundSugarRadio.com and what have you, and form a partnership. And my gosh, like, I will talk you up, but I will also experience you as well. And I want to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. So I'll come and visit your platform or your event and stuff like that. Just shoot us a line. Absolutely.
For sure. And we will be trying getting out to do some more remotes this year as well. Paul and I were at the Strathcona County Christmas Bureau back on December 9th of this year, which was a fun morning. We were there as everybody was coming to pick up, and the volunteers were coming to pick up the deliveries to go out and deliver to those that were in need of the Strathcona County Christmas Bureau in 2023. So we'll be doing that. But one big thing, Paul, that we're doing coming up in April, and we may do some remotes prior to this as well, but in April, we're going to be broadcasting live from the Sherwood Park Chamber of Commerce Trade Fair, which takes place at Millennium Place. That's April 12th, 13th, and 14th. So we'll be in the Music Society of Strathcona County booth. I forgot what it was called there for a second, a booth. And we'll be broadcasting live throughout that weekend. So it's going to give us an opportunity to listen to maybe chat with a lot of the businesses, and over 12,000 people come out to that event. So we're going to be there if you want to pop by and say hi.
And that's way 4 months from now, guys. We will be in it, and we'll be live, many times in between that now in April as well. So stick around, tune in, get involved with us, and we'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And like I said, there'll be lots of people there and lots of businesses that can, pop by our table, and we'll have a quick chat with them, and you can, listen to them as well. I don't have it right up in front of me, but maybe before the end of this show and over the next, few months or a few weeks, we'll be promoting it, and we'll give you ticket prices and that kind of thing as well, just so you know what the ticket prices are to get in. It's very reasonable, actually, for the amount that you get to go at that trade fair. So there's lots to see and lots to do there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It will be good for sure. So I don't know, for those of you that are watching the live stream right now, Paul, we can hear your audio, but you are frozen solid. Unless you're just sitting in the exact same position and not moving, and you're doing a great job, we can hear you really well.
Well, I was a mime in my former life. No, I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I'm using my son's computer because we're not normally virtual. We're normally face to face.
We are. Yeah.
So I kind of had to pivot a little bit today. So
Yeah, well, normally we are. Well, I'm sure we'll be back live and in the same room next week. We just kind of switched things around a little bit just due to the extra cold weather today. So we are not in the same room together, but next week we should be back in the same room for this show. And of course, just following this show as well, our good friend Cliff Smith and Paul and I live stream the Podly podcast that gets underway at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for those of you that are not in Alberta, and you can join the live stream, and that's on the Podly Podcast YouTube channel, which you can also subscribe to, and make sure to subscribe also to the Music Society of Strathcona County YouTube page as well, that we're streaming live. But man, Paul, I'm just watching you. You don't even move your lips when you talk. Were you ever a ventriloquist?
My man, ventriloquist. There you go.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, like I said, the audio is working great. You are just basically a photograph right now, staring in the same direction. So, for all those people that are watching, yes, Paul is with us, and he's here live. It's not just a photograph that we put up. He was moving. He's not moving anymore, but he was moving.
And it's funny too, because I can't even see it either. I don't know what's going on my end.
Oh, so you're not even seeing the stream or me anymore?
I am not, sir.
Oh, well, at least you're hearing me.
I am hearing you. Yeah, no, loud and clear. It's we don't plan on doing this virtually. It's just by virtue of the fact that it's damn cold.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go outside.
Just a little bit chilly. So maybe while you're kind of well, hey, maybe that's why you froze. There's why.
That could very well be. That could very well be.
Oh.
I am in the midst of trying to fix it as we speak, guys.
You're moving. I can see you.
Oh, am I moving now?
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, your mouth might not be exactly matching the words, but you are moving.
I don't know. I digress. I don't know. I'm here. I'm alive.
No, you are moving, and like I said, we never lost your audio, so that was good. So maybe as we kind of segue into, as I said, some of the events happening around. So I don't know if people know, and I'm sure if you're in the arts community, music community, etc., you've heard of the Shell Theatre, which is out in Fort Saskatchewan. They have a lot of really good shows coming up here in the next little while. They've got Dance Discovery on Sunday, January 21st, is doing a winter spectacular. But then listen to this, on January 26th, Friday, January 26th, they've got the Sheepdogs.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be an awesome show. Mm-hmm. And then the next night, on the 27th of January, they've got the Great Canadian Road Trip with Doc Walker, Michelle Wright, and Jason McCoy. So for you country music fans, there's a show you're going to want to jump out to for sure. Also, a friend of ours who's been in the Ravenwood, has performed for us with Ravenwood, and I've known this gentleman for a long time. Martin Kerr is doing an album release party Friday, February 2nd at the Shell as well in Fort Saskatchewan. So you might want to grab your tickets soon for that. Martin has a tendency of selling those types of shows out, and it is an album release. So you get to hear a whole bunch of new music. So that one is going to be a good show for sure in beginning of February. So get your tickets for that. Lots happening at the Shell Theatre.
You know what? I haven't had the privilege of going to the Shell Theatre.
So it's been a while. I have been in there. It has been quite a while, many years since I've been in there. But they do put on, a lot of really good shows, both musicals, musical theater, regular theater, and concerts as well. So they really round out their season.
One of my favorite shows, my favorite live shows, probably ever, I want to say this is probably top 10, was your neck of the woods, Bill, at Festival Place. It was Leahy.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, that was 10 years ago. It was fantastic, though.
Yeah, no, they are a great band. I saw them also many years ago, and then had the opportunity to meet most of them as well, to meet the family, which was really good.
As did I, yeah.
Really cool to meet them all and have a chat with some of them. And it's like I said, we have so many good shows, and so many good local shows. Like we've talked about previous Bill and Paul shows about how many good, local artists that we have just around our area that are performing all the time, right?
And like the local ones. I mean, I'm getting a lot of friends who are telling me about the Broadway across Canada
Yep,
circuit
that's a great
just
series.
recently, and in our Metro Edmonton area, they're playing Mean Girls, which is the production now. And I'm getting all of my friends that have gone say it's absolutely phenomenal, fantastic. I said, I asked one friend, I said, can you rate it out of 10? She said 8.5, and she took her daughter, and it was fantastic. So,
Nice.
you know, it theater, music, what have you. This is a bustling time. This is a bustling time. Yeah, it's the cold months of January, and
Mhm.
Christmas is over and New Year's is done, and we've got 4 months till 6 months till the snow melts and what have you. But there is lots to get out and to do and get involved in.
Yeah, no, for sure. And my wife and I and my one daughter had season passes to Broadway across Canada.
Yeah,
We didn't this year, but we had up for the past couple of years, and we've seen so many good Broadway shows at the Jubilee. There's just some amazing shows that we've seen.
yeah.
So yeah, that's another good thing to check out as well. I just brought up our local venue out here in Sherwood Park, Festival Place. They've got a lot coming up. They have Jeremy Fisher coming up on January 18th. Jeremy's a four-time Juno nominated pop folk singer songwriter based out of Ottawa. He's going to be there. Elfie Zappacosta, January 27th at Festival Place. That's going to be a really good show. And the Trues, Paul, are going to be January 31st playing Festival Place. They are going to be doing their House of Fame 20th anniversary tour, uh, playing their platinum. They are playing their platinum selling debut album that night.
Okay, so I'm pretty vocal about the truths. I said that, a half an hour. We opened this show, and I said, I'm gonna talk very honestly. I'm gonna talk very openly, and I'm gonna, yes, I'm going to talk your shows up, but I also want to, I want to make a point of seeing your shows to make sure that I know what I'm talking about and what have you. Um, Bill, I've never liked the Trues music.
Mm-hmm.
I have never enjoyed the Truce. I've never seen them live. Their release stuff. I am not a Trues fan. I apologize. But I am not a Trues fan. I'm sure
So
for
you're not buying your tickets for that show.
I will not be going to that show. I apologize. But hey, honesty. I'm not a Trues fan. But are you?
I don't mind some of the Trues music. Yeah, I don't mind some at all.
Mm.
Um, I'm just flipping through here as well. The also coming to Festival Place, they have Classic Albums Live. So the Classic Albums Live will be performing Queen, News of the World. That being in Festival.
Okay, hang on. That I might have to go to.
That's on February 2nd at Festival Place.
Uh-oh. Mom, happy birthday. I'm busy.
uh,
um, I might have to go to that one.
So, and they do a few shows like in February, like Festival has done this before. They got the Creedence Clearwater Remembered, a true rock and roll story. They actually brought that on for 2 nights because they have actually sold one. Well, the February 23rd show sold out. So they've added a second show on February 22nd for that one.
Could
Uh,
you, Bill, could you do me a favor?
yeah,
Could you stop spending my money for me, please?
I'm trying not to. And then, of course, in I'm skipping way ahead, and we'll talk about these shows usually month per month as we're on. I'm just skipping ahead out of interest. So the Trans Canada Highwaymen are playing at Festival Place on March 10th. So the interesting thing about the Trans Canada Highwaymen is it is a mix of artists, and one of the people in that band, of course, is Stephen Page. So
Correct.
Stephen Page will be playing, as I mentioned at the top of the show. He's headlining our Ravenwood Music Festival. So the other funny thing with that, it's not funny really, but I believe actually now that this comes to me, so Craig Northey, who played with the Odds, is Stephen Page's guitar player in the trio. So
Okay.
we'll have Stephen Page and Craig Northey as part of the group that's headlining Ravenwood on Saturday, July 13th.
I knew there was a notable name to the Stephen Page trio. I just couldn't, for the top of my head, think of who it was, and it is in fact Craig Northey, from
Yes.
the odds fame. So I couldn't think of it, as we were chatting here, but yeah, there is another notable on the Stephen Page trio. So Craig Northey actually will be at the Ravenwood Festival with us, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, that'll be great as well. And they do a show, a lot of covers that they do. They've also got in the band is also Mo Berg from the Pursuit of Happiness, Chris Murphy from Sloan as well.
Who I'm a huge fan of Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
Huge.
So Mo is part of that band. So again, that's March 10th. And hey, kind of Sound Sugar Radio. I'll be there that night. I've been asked to actually intro that show, so I will be introducing the band when they come on stage that night at Festival.
Do you need a roadie?
So I don't know.
Hey, and if you don't need a roadie, do you need a groupie?
You're going to stand out by the stage door and just wait, or?
Darn rights I would.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely that will be a good show, and it's a good chance to see Stephen playing a whole bunch of different songs that they don't play. That obviously is not part of his trio show, so that will be good as well. And again, that's festival.
It's funny. Sorry to interrupt, Bill. It's funny. It just brought me, just reminded me of something. Back about 25 years ago, 27 years ago, saw a show at the Jubilee. One of my favorite, to date, still one of my favorite folk artists, Ani DeFranco, played. And this is circa 94, maybe 95. I got a chance to meet her. And to your point, I stayed out of the stage door. I waited on the stage door, and she came out, and sure enough, I met her, and this, that, and the other thing. But back in the day, I didn't think of collecting ticket stubs. Now, almost 30 years later, much to my chagrin, but I always collected T-shirts. Well, now 30 years later, I'm too big for the T-shirts, and I'm out of ticket stubs. So I'm in the midst of trying to collect ticket stubs just from shows that I have been to. I don't want, just any old ticket stubs, but saw on social media about before Christmas, a couple months ago, I think in November, a friend had posted all of these ticket stubs that he had. I hadn't personally met this, quote, air quote friend, but I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, would you be willing to sell your Ani DeFranco ticket stub?" Because he had it posted on his thing, and sure enough, I met him, got the Ani DeFranco ticket stub from that actual show in 1994. So it's so much fun. It's so much fun just to stick around and be groupies and see who you can meet, and brings back just a whole lot of memories. I absolutely love it, and I have actually got now proof that I was actually at that show, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, no, for sure. And sometimes it works to hang out. I know we did that. This was a few years back when the Broadway show of Annie was in town, and Sally Struthers was in that show. And so we hung out back stage after that show and got to meet Sally Struthers.
How's Sally?
Came out. She was good. She was actually had been a little bit ill before that show. So she's kind of covering up, but she was very gracious and very nice. And even though she wasn't feeling 100%, but she did a great show. She performed really well. But yeah, so, you definitely, things like that for sure. So if you want to hang out at the Trans-Canada Highwayman show at the stage door, so when the show's over and I come out, Paul, I can say hi to you.
I might have to ask for an autograph.
I don't know if we'll have a ticket stub to give you.
I might. Well, hey, you would have a ticket stub. Could I be buying one?
So I'm going to segue just over here. We've got we've only got like 15 minutes left. The show is just like flowing right by. Into the
you and I don't usually want for things to talk about, Bill.
No, we don't. So I'm going to jump into the theater world here real quick. So coming up in Edmonton, the Shadow Theater, which they run their shows in the Varscona Theater right down just off of Wade Ave. They've got a new show coming up called the Drawer Boy, 17th to the 20, or sorry, January 17th to February 4th. That show gets underway here in a couple of days. I have heard from just some things I've seen, it sounds like that is going to be a very good show. The Drawer Boy is where city slicker actor crashes with two farmers to gather takes of rural life for his new play. Laughter and heartfelt moments ensue as art blurs the lines of reality. So that sounds like that could be a really good show. Again, Varscona Theater, January 17th, again, put on by Shadow Theater. And just across the street from that is, of course, the Walterdale Theater. And I've done a lot of shows there in
I did one. Yeah.
the past few years. I don't know how many shows I've done there, but it's been a lot. So that's been a venue that I've always enjoyed performing in. They have a new show coming out starting February 7th called Amigos Blue Guitar. And that is directed by Bob Kalakowicz. And it is starring Aldrich Dugart as Elias. We have Martha as Sandy Roberts, no relation to me. Richard Weens is playing Owen. And Crystal Poniwazak is playing Callie, and Sanders being played by Graham Schmaltz. So that is a show about a young college student living on an island off of BC, and he informs his family that he has arranged the sponsorship of a refugee from El Salvador as a class project. Set in 1990, while a devastating civil war raged in that country, the award-winning play explores what it means and feels like to relate to someone who has endured intense personal grief and to consider how we ourselves would react. Well, it sounds like a kind of a hard-hitting emotional show. Amigos Blue Guitar, Walterdale Theater, February 7th to 17th. Tickets are now on sale.
Why do you go to theater, Bill? Why do you go to theater?
Why do I go to theater?
Yeah, not why, not why do you perform? Why do you go to theater?
I enjoy live theater. I just enjoy watching a show happening there, like with live actors right in front of me telling a story.
Okay, so i.e. you use the word enjoy, i.e. you go there for entertainment, correct?
While entertainment, sometimes you learn something, like obviously with Amigos Blue Guitar, that's got a very heavy storyline to it, right? So maybe you're going to take away something from that particular story as well.
See, and I'm glad that you said that because yes, I mean, I think it's unanimous to say that we go there for entertainment, but I go to live shows to feel something, and it's not always laughter and hilarity. I go there to feel something. I go there to feel a character's tragedy, a character's history. I want to feel something. Not very often do I want to go to a live show and just laugh my face off. And I'll tell you this, and apologies to all of my stand-up comedy friends. I love you all. You are crazy talented, and I could never do what you all do. And I love you all. But not often do I go to a show just to laugh.
Right.
Just to laugh, just to bust a gut. Now, when I say I want to feel something, obviously you're feeling hilarity, you're feeling laughter. I want to, I don't know. I want some heart. I want some soul in live acts. I've never been, and again with apologies to all of my friends, I've never been a very big stand-up comedy person, live or otherwise. It to me, it's sure, I'm laughing, but what am I learning? What are they trying to tell me? Or is it, I don't know. I don't know. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here, Bill? I need to feel something. I need to come out of it feeling, smarter or wiser or, something like that.
Yeah. No, I get it. And you're right. There's the shows that you go to, which are going to be a good laugh. And then there's the shows that you go to, which are going to be, really emotional. One of the shows that we saw as part of the Broadway Across Canada series actually was Evan Hansen. And prior to seeing the Broadway version of Evan Hansen, I didn't know a whole lot about the show. I knew kind of the premise of it. I didn't know what it was going to be like, but I can tell you at the end, when that show was over, it's probably one of the best Broadway shows I've ever seen, and not just because of the music, but because of the story. And it was very emotional. and the cast that performed that show at the Jubilee Auditorium was absolutely amazing. So you saw laughter in the audience, you saw tears in
Mhm.
the audience at the through the hard parts of the show, and it was one of those shows that you walked away from and just went, "Wow, that was a show that just hit you right in the chest."
And it's so funny that you say that. Now coming from a performer, now I haven't performed on stage in a very long time, 2018. I just don't have the time for it with young kids, but 2018. But from a performer perspective, I mean, doing a show. So first of all, I did a 10 show run. It was a dinner theater. I did a 10 show run. I was absolutely knackered at the end of it, Bill. I was absolutely exhausted. Now, not taking into consideration there was no emotional tie, there was no laughing, there was no crying or hilarity or mental breakdowns in my character or what have you. I was kind of a bump on a log, no good, husband type character.
Hmm.
Um, and I was absolutely exhausted. Can you imagine these performers that night after night, sometimes matinee and then evening in one day, going from hilarity to heartbreak to it's gut wrenching.
Oh yeah, it's I've done runs as well that are 2 week long runs and 3 week long runs and 4 week long runs, and you're on every night, except Monday nights. I did a run of South Pacific, which
Mm,
was probably, oh boy, I can't remember how many shows. It was a lot of shows. I lost count after a while, and that includes doing matinees of that show as well.
mhm.
And that shows like that, yeah. As an actor, by the end of that run, you're just and that that role for me, I was not doing a singing character, but I was playing a role that involved being on stage a lot with a lot of dialogue. So I had tons of dialogue I had to do every night and every matinee. So by the end of that run, boy, I was yeah, you're worn out. You need a real good break.
Yeah, 100%. No, what was the, I hope you don't mind my asking, what was the, because you met your lovely wife as you guys were doing theater, am I right?
Yeah, so our my very first professional show was at the Citadel, way back, and it was a run of Tom Sawyer that did at the Shochter Theater. It was booked for, and that's how we met. So we had been in separate auditions, I guess. Yeah, we weren't. I don't think we actually were in the same room together until it came read through time, because other than in the show we interacted. She didn't have a lot of lines in the show, but she was cast as my character's girlfriend. I had all the lines throughout the show, but so that was, yeah, so our very first professional show was at the Citadel. And then not long after that I actually got a job at the Citadel. So I worked there as not a volunteer but as actually a paid usher at the Citadel. So I got to see all the shows and at the different theaters, and that was kind of fun too. But yeah, that's so I got to hang out there and do a show there, and
So
yeah, it
you
was,
kind of alluded to it. What was your character and what was your wife's character? What
I can't
boyfriend, girlfriend? What were the names? Do you
I,
remember?
I can't remember her name. My character's name was Joe Harper, and I was kind of a an enemy to Tom Sawyer in the story, the way it was being told. So we didn't get along. I was always kind of trying to catch up to Tom, and I think in all my character really wanted to be like Tom, but I just couldn't. The character just could never get there. Joe just wasn't. He wanted to be like Tom Sawyer, but he couldn't. He couldn't kind of be there. So he was doing things to antagonize Tom and things like that throughout the show, in hopes that eventually I think they did kind of come together toward the end, if I remember correctly, on this it was a whole rendition that had been done on Tom Sawyer. It was kind of rewritten by a Canadian writer, etc. And so yeah, so that's kind of how it happened. And
Okay, so you answered a few of my questions. So this was this a direct adaptation of the book The Adventures of Tom Sawyer?
very similar, yeah, with a few changes
Okay,
uh,
now if
into it.
you have read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, it is very biased. It is very racially inappropriate now.
Mhm.
Was that included in the play?
I think at that time, maybe some of it was.
Is that right, eh?
I don't think a lot of it was, but
Mm.
a little bit was. Like obviously, the cast was at that point all quite young. Like we were all in our, we were all over 18. of
Hmm.
course, to perform in it, but some were performing younger roles and that kind of thing as well.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, that was the first my first professional paid acting role was at the Citadel.
Wow, very cool. Cool story.
Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Loving theater, Bill. Loving theater.
Yeah, I haven't done anything for quite a while now, but just busy doing, as you said, busy doing other things, and
But do you miss performing in theater, or do you like being the exec?
um, I like doing what I'm doing right now. Maybe some point down the road I would look at doing it again or a show here or there. But I like doing what I'm doing right now, and being president of the Music Society. It's really kind of keeping that takes a lot of time. We've got
Mhm,
a music festival. We now have the Raven Music Club, so that's kind of where all my efforts lie. And as you know, Paul, and one thing we didn't mention, I guess, at the top of the show was also our organization is 100% volunteer driven. So the festival itself, etc., is all volunteer driven.
mhm,
So we have no paid staff. So all of us that are on, including you, Paul, we all have day jobs as well. So
mhm,
it does take up a lot of time. Now I'm lucky in my job in that I have a lot of flexibility because I work full time from home. So that is nice for me because then I can go back and forth and work on Ravenwood, and then I work on my day job. Work on
mhm,
Ravenwood, and then I work on my day job again. Right. So
mhm.
um, that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
do not have that luxury, Bill.
yeah. Yeah, you don't, right? And so I'm lucky in that way. So it allows me to be able to do both and spend time on being able to do both.
Mhm,
So that works out well. So having done all of that, really to have time, to be trying to do a show right now, and as you would know, Paul, especially for live theater, you were rehearsals prior to a show opening or like virtually every night, during the weekend as you get closer to a run. That's like every night, even including weekends, as you get to the tech runs and stuff. So it takes a lot of time.
Well, it's funny, and I'll open up my clothes closet here a little bit. The last live theater show I did was a dinner theater in 2018, and at the time, my twin boys, uh, how old were they? They were just 4. They were 5, and my girl was 4. I.e., they were very they still very dependent on myself and what have you. And I was terrible, Bill. I was absolutely terrible. And the reason for that, I wasn't mentally prepared. I was too busy with my family. I was too busy with my job. Um, I was terrible, and I to this day that has been that's a major regret. That still kind of burns that I was really the detriment to that production. Now the production, the ten show production, went off very well, and we got very good reviews in the local paper and what have you. But man, I gotta tell you guys, it's mad respect for you theater performers. Mad respect. I can't do it.
Hmm.
Um, I can't do it. I don't have the memory for it anymore, and I don't. So, absolute mad respect to all you theater performers. It takes, to your point, Bill. It takes Tech Week. I mean, you're Tech Week. You're basically you're there. You're
You're
there.
there all the time. Yeah.
You're there all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and that's just Tech Week. I mean, you're
You're right.
rehearsing, and oh my gosh.
You're right. There's a lot of, as you said, when you're doing a lot of shows and back to back, and a lot of memorization involved, and that kind of thing. So, but having said all that, Paul, guess what?
Hey, that was fun.
We have 10 seconds left.
That was fun.
Bill and Paul back for 2024. We're here every Mondays night, 6:30 to 7:30, live streaming on the Music Society of Strathcona County YouTube page, and of course live right on soundsugarradio.com. So if you have an event or you got a show or anything coming up, send us an email, soundsugarradio@gmail.com, and say, hey, I've got an event coming up, and if you want to talk about it too, we are going to be booking guests.
Yeah, guys, come stay with us for the hour. Mondays from 6:30 till 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. Come talk about the arts with us. Come love the arts with us. We this is not work what we do, Bill. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds good. All right, everybody, have a great night. We will see you all next week.
If you're in our neck of the woods, stay safe and stay warm, everybody. Till next week. Bye-bye.